And now, The Bonfire with Big J. Oakerson and Dan Soder.
Legion of Skanks. Welcome to the
Yeah, that's right, everybody. It is The Bonfire, Comedy Central Radio, Sirius XM 95. I'm Big J. Oakerson. Dan Soder, of course, at Nana's house, keeping all that jizz inside and keeping all that weed somewhere else. But he's getting ready to go to Portland, so that'll be great. But that's all right, because today on The Bonfire, it's not The Bonfire. It is the Legion of Skanks Takeover Day. Which got Jacob very, very excited. I wish I could tell you right now that all three skanks are here sitting in the room, but one skank's going to be pretty late. This is going to blow your mind. It's Dave Smith who's going to be late.
No way.
Sitting here with me, the Puerto Rican rattlesnake himself, the real-ass dude, Louis J. Gomez. Louis.
Yay! Blop, blop, blop. Blop, blop. What's up, people in your cars, driving home, or possibly getting off early from a day in Los Angeles from your job, weirdly at 3?
Yeah, an odd
hour getting off.
We do have a weird amount of LA listeners, though. But it gets like right in the heart of like maybe the last couple hours of.
Should have blow out with your boss. He told him to go fuck himself, take his job, shove it up his ass.
Getting your fucking Miata and listen to some Bonfire.
Why not, dude? You don't need that job. You're too good for that job.
Who needs that shit? And by the way, so happy that you're here, because if you weren't here, there'd be nobody right now, because Dave is going to be late. He gave a heads up he was going to be late, but it was a late heads up.
Bitch made.
You didn't even know he wasn't going to be here yet.
I'm glad that I showed up on time, because I'm a fashionably late type of person.
It's got nothing to do with fashion.
It's fashion. It's the only fashion that I have.
It's
that
got
I'm late
zero
to everything.
fashion. But my reward for you, the entire show, because you're here first, nope, it's going to be Pitbull Day. That's right, in honor of the Puerto Rican rattlesnake. All day, Pitbull music.
I feel like that's kind of an insult.
Why?
Because I mean, it's not like it's not like I'm like, oh, I love Pitbull. Like you're saying, like you look like Pitbull. It's almost racist.
Well, I mean, Pitbull, man, you don't look like Pitbull. I was gonna say you do, but it's only bald head. Somehow Pitbull is the pastiest, whitest Hispanic guy I've ever seen. He's so pale.
I'm so jealous of his tone.
No, you're not.
I wish I could be that
pasty and
pale.
No, you don't want to look like that. He's got a weird thing going. And you're much better looking than Pitbull.
I agree. But look, dude, he's Mr. Miami. He's got some swag. He could probably pull hotter bitches than me because he's more famous.
Yes. He
and
the
type of chick.
At least with regularity. And it's going to be a type of chick that's probably not in your wheelhouse at all.
No. Would not be into me at all.
Just like people in the like Vegas pool party shit.
Yes,
that's not your world. Or Miami pool party thing. I don't know. Like
it's not that it's not my world. I think you
like being in it.
We weirdly would all want to be in it. This is the way that I feel. It's like a theory that I have in life. Like I was not goth, but I was semi-goth in high school, right? Like Marilyn Manson t-shirts, eyeliner, all that good shit. Long hair, purple hair, green hair sometimes.
Sick.
I used to dress like Jay now. And but the reality is I would always peer over in the lunchroom at the popular kid table. I would see the jock, and he's good looking, he's got muscles, and then I see like the other kids, like the hip hop kids table, and they were all popping and locking. And I didn't want to be with these fucking pale losers. I would have loved to be at one of those tables, but I didn't have the confidence. So the reality is, I'm being honest, I would love.
Or it's just not where you lined up, kind of organically too. I mean, people, you'd sort of line up in some way. If you're very good looking, the popularity world will come to you in those early social situations.
Yeah,
you know
I agree.
What I mean?
Of course. It makes it very easy, but it's also it's a negative thing in life, because then those people in those formative years of, you know, not in life, but in like the social formative years, which is like middle school on, right? You start to really figure out how to deal with people. It's not just about whose toys it is. It's like, you know, you start to, you know, have real relationships, high school, college. Those years, if you're really good looking or really athletic or you know, whatever it is, having those things come easily to you is not going to help you.
I wonder what the percentage of attractive people, I mean classically attractive people, having like peaking in high school. When you said classically attractive,
why did you do a head nod over to Jacob, who right now can't turn his head and has liquid spewing out of his neck?
Oh, well, Jacob is classically attractive.
This classically attractive monster that is sitting right next to me. I feel like I'm in Frankenstein's fucking lab. Jacobs comes out there and I walk in and he's just like nervous. There's a really hot chick that works at the desk and he just nervously goes to meet me and he's like, it really sucks to have to be in a neck brace in front. I was like, it's not the brace, Jacob. It's the hole that I can see into your throat. That's the problem.
That is the weird part. The whole. I agree. But yeah, this is Jacob's been pretty insecure about it. So Lewis, thanks for really grinding it home. Jacob's like, can we maybe not mention the brace? And we did it yesterday anyway. And then Lewis really came in and finished hammering that nail.
Well, it's got a weird fucking latch on the front to let the hole breathe.
I don't. Yeah, I do. I did say yesterday. I do find it odd. There's a tracheotomy hole.
See, I think it's for. They're not going to make a non-tracheotomy and a tracheotomy version. So it's kind of like you gotta.
False. They definitely have the ones that are solid, like solid the whole way through. You have like a peekaboo thing
this
happening.
Is the one they gave me, Jake.
It looks like
that's the neck brace to show cleavage. That's when you're going out.
He's like a superhero, and if you get in there, you can pull out an infinity stone out of his throat.
It looks like it does look like there's like air bubbles in it. It's like Nike Air Max neck brace.
Yes, dude. If you remember those sneakers back in the day that you'd like look underneath and there was all the insides would have the different bubbles and shit. I don't think they did a goddamn thing.
Not only do I think they did a thing, it was probably they were probably saving so much materials by just making hollow plastic bubbles at the bottom of shoes.
There's no technology that said this was going to do anything for you.
There was always legend of a kid who blew the air bubbles. Never seen it happen.
Yeah.
And I was a 300-pound kid landing on those air bubbles playing basketball often. Now, did I get up high? No. It wasn't coming crashing down from a dunk, trust me. But, you know, a little jump shot, I've never blown, but I've heard stories of people blowing their air bubbles.
The point is, Jacob, can we pump up your neck?
Please? How many pumps till you can dunk?
That's how Jacob has to breathe. He has a little basketball that he has to press on.
You should have the reveal is what you got to do. When the day you don't need it anymore, you wear it in the work anyway, and then rip it off, and then just do one of your kip-ups, and be like, and you'd be like, yeah, more human than human, and then walk away. More human than human.
This also looks like you they made you a bionic throat, like you're a gay guy from the future.
I don't feel that way yet.
Or it looks like you have to leave this on until your head transplant stitches come out. You guys just hold your head in place until the skin grows back.
I love the new body, guys.
Everything's working great. Yeah, no, I was never, but I wasn't unpopular at school would be a weird thing to say. I mean, people knew I was, I guess.
You were notorious.
No, it wasn't notorious, and I wasn't,
infamous.
Was not infamous at all. I was just, I was probably like third tier known. Does that make sense?
No, I didn't realize that there was like a third tier known as a fucking loser, dude.
Is it?
We don't want to tell you. Like, you know, you're not even in the second tier table.
Maybe. I mean,
how many tiers do you think of cool or in high school?
Maybe I was second tier. I may have been second tier.
Nah, you were third tier cool, dude.
No, if I think about the people,
the uncool kids look down on you.
Oh, you know what? I may have been third tier in Philly. No.
Fourth tier is literally the retarded kids.
Yeah, then I was second tier.
Okay.
I was second tier.
Yeah.
I definitely was. I wasn't first tier.
I just pretended to hate all of the popular kids and jocks.
You pretended to? Well, that's a good way to describe it. How about I would never got invited by the coolest kid to come to the party.
But you're like, fuck that kid.
No, but somebody was like, no, you got to come to so-and-so's party. You know what I mean?
I was never invited to the party. I was never invited by his friend. I was like, by the time I got to high school, I was so bitter against people. Like, I was like, in elementary school, I was like funny, and it was like, I was like trying to be like the class clown. It's almost like, this is like a cycle in my life. Oh my God, I'm realizing this is like an analogy for my comedy career. Because in the beginning, I was like, you know, a little kid, I was so happy to just be there. I was like, hey, look, we're fucking making people laugh. This is great. And then I went through a really dark period in middle school, which is, you know, in my comedy life, like 5 to 8, 9 years. Like, really brutal. Like, just fucking suicidal. Hated everybody that I met. Like, it was super jealous of everybody.
Were you suicidal in school?
No, but it was a bad time. It was.
But
like,
was it? Did you say you were suicidal to yourself a lot?
I
would just end it all right now.
I would just carve NIN into my arm with a razor blade. It's a flesh
You
wound.
really?
I did actually.
But you don't have a scar from it at all.
Because it was like a little bitch. Like I didn't go too deep.
I watched. It was the only episode ever of Intervention I've ever turned off, and it was a girl who'd sit Indian style and just go, "Yeah, I got in the cutting recently, which does make it feel better." And how they do it, it's just like a crazy, like they just like chomp at it, like with it, and just make it like 100 little ones, and it's so. It was,
I hate cutters.
It
And if you're a
bothered me.
cutter, you can call in right now, and I'll tell you to your face that I hate you.
well, you'd have to tell it to their ears.
Does anybody cut anymore? Cutting got like super popular. I feel when I was in high school, there was a lot around it, but I feel like you don't hear of cutting since they all have smartphones.
Christine was a fourth tier cool.
Oh no!
All of her friends were cutting. No, I don't know, but I think
Ari Shafir said he used to cut.
Did he?
I didn't cut like that. I cut it like it was like cool.
Yes, I've cut myself for what the same way you have before.
Just
when I
being
was a
like,
kid.
hey, look.
No,
9 inch
not even like,
nails.
oh, I was going to leave like a scar, like kind of thing or something. You know what I mean? Like it would leave a scar or something.
Yeah. It all sucks. But if you're a cutter now and then you wear like short sleeves, like we know a cutter, and then once in a while she'll wear short sleeves in front
Straight
of
up
us.
tank top.
And it makes me furious.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you putting me through your shit? Like I didn't ask to be invited into your world of darkness.
So you're
This
saying
is
if
crazy.
if you snap out of whatever put you in that world, you owe it to the world. Sleeve up. You got
That's it. You fucking don't get to have a sleeveless shirt ever if you have all those scars all over your arm.
Or you got to commit to double tattoo sleeves.
Yeah.
You have to always wear Ed Hardy shirts.
Yeah, or you have to do it to the rest of your body.
Your body.
You have to do that to everywhere.
I have to feel like it's an affliction.
Yeah.
I do find it to be one of the lamer, if not the lamest of like the self. Like I don't even know anymore because it's not big scale dangerous. It's very attention seeking, and then it is like I said. They stay there for life. Rhonda in Ohio has a question about the envelope they sent in. Is this take the call important, Lou? No, you just say it anyway.
Put her on. I'm gonna make her cut herself.
What's the question about the envelope?
She was mumbling. She didn't really say it.
Is she hammered?
She didn't sound hammered, nah.
She just sounds like she mumbles.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does she have a speech impediment? That'd be fun.
Want to take her?
Let's see. Rhonda, you're on with the Bonfire.
You should have a
Legion of Skanks takeover. What's your what tier were you?
Hey, crackle, homies.
Crackle, Rhonda.
What up, bitch?
Hey, I don't have a speech impediment. I was actually outside eating my dinner, so I apologize.
That's
Sorry.
Black Lou just hating.
But here's the problem. He's black. He doesn't understand the way white people talk. If you're not speaking Ebonics to him, he's gonna really check out.
I get it. No, actually, I called for one reason, and I was listening to the topic, and that you guys were just talking about high school and bullshit, and I kind of was like the same way in high school.
Second tier?
What's that?
Were you second tier? Third tier?
Probably fourth tier, fifth tier.
Did you play an instrument?
I didn't. No. I live in Canton, and Jay, I live a few blocks from your dad, actually.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah.
What's it like spending time with him?
No.
What's his middle name? Ask him.
I grew up about 45 minutes east of here, small hillbilly town. I myself, huge lesbian. So I never cut myself, but I could have easily went in and.
Now, I have a question. Knowing from staying in that part of the country a couple times, specifically that part, that was an odd thing when I watched a documentary about bullying. It might have been that movie Bully. If you've ever seen that, Lewis, it is brutal. That's the kid they kept calling Fish Face.
Yeah, I don't watch those types of movies.
It's heart-wrenching documentary. But I was talking about a girl going through being an out lesbian in the Midwest, and you really do think of it.
It's just not that bad.
You just think about it. No, you think about
It's
it.
just
in a world,
awesome. You go through life being kind of cool.
Well, she did have her pocket of friends, but they definitely looked at misfits. But it was, she was like very ostracized. Like her parents didn't have a problem with it, but the parents were getting shit from other parents and asking them not to be in that church anymore. Like weird shit like that. That was like, it must suck in some way. So is this a part of the country where it was tough to be a big lesbian in school?
Absolutely. I dropped out of high school because of the bullying.
It's because it was all that vagina was around. You just couldn't handle it.
I couldn't.
It was like, oh, I can't concentrate.
There was too much sniz. I couldn't take it.
Oh yeah.
No, it's
You're like, the answer is, Mrs. Johnson, the answer is, I want to wear your puss like a doctor's mask. Rhonda, you're going to have to go to the principal again.
Mrs. Johnson.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. She's hot, too.
Next thing you know, you wake up, you're like, what happened? Like, you passed out, all the blood rushed from your head to your pussy, and you cracked your face on the desk.
I'm just gonna finger blast my way through this piece of shit school and be blowing out backs left and right.
Did you
Rhonda,
hook up?
hell yeah.
Did you hook up a lot of
Rhonda-
chicks? I love how she's also the female you.
Yeah, Rhonda, she really does. She has a voice that can only be described as lesbian. What is this voice?
Oh,
Looking for box.
No, but I totally, like, I was never a cutter. I didn't get into drugs. I wasn't an alcoholic. I didn't do that. I kept to myself, and as shitty as it is to say, I can feel for the kids that get bullied and like shoot people. They're going about it the completely wrong way. There is help out there, but it's fucked up what people do. But I can see how people get driven to do crazy shit.
It's different though because you're a lesbian, so you're getting so much pussy. If these young shooters were getting pussy, they wouldn't be shooting schools up. You're knee deep in veg, so you have a different perspective on the world. I'm imagining. By the way, I picture you being like fucking 5'8", 106 pounds, huge big tits, tattoos down one arm, long fucking purpley pink hair, fucking punk rock chick, right?
Really? Well, I'm 6'1". Both my arms are sleeved. I have short, blonde, spiky hair. I'm
24-inch pythons.
Did you just describe Bruno Sammartino?
36-inch
Yes.
inseam.
That's right. Yes, and we have a 2-year-old son, and I'm married. So,
Whoa, how'd that happen? Aliens.
What's your wife look like?
she is beautiful. I could send you guys a picture if you'd like.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Wait, what kind of picture? Don't be gross and send one where it's like she's on all fours and slightly lifting one leg. Don't send shit.
Do you have
like
one of
that.
those like internal cameras they use at the doctor's offices?
Speculum camera?
Actually, yeah, we do.
Could you send us an internal shot?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Can you GoPro a finger blast session for us?
Sure. Are you still doing the, let me go bust out my Birkenstocks and go to Lilith Fair. Maybe we'll get a little message.
Rhonda, you're the best. What was your question about the envelope you sent?
Oh, total brain fart. I was doing it early in the morning when I was leaving for work, and I didn't put Sirius XM. I just put care of Jacob the cat like an asshole.
Oh, it'll make its way. It'll make its way?
It'll make its way.
Jacob says it will.
Jacob, to answer that question, just had to put himself through excruciating pain.
Every word, just so you know, is a new nightmare. You think should there be a resend?
It might come back. It might not.
He's not sure.
He just wants to die. It might come back.
Jacob, put the microphone through the hole in the neck.
What does it really matter anyway?
I'm sorry if it's not a pussy. I'm not used to speaking into it correctly. So
No, hell's yeah. I like Rhonda.
Yeah, it's just, are you able to throw
girl
your
me.
voice through the phone? What's going on right now?
It's girl me.
Did you pre-record an interview with yourself? Is this a bit?
Hell yeah. I want to fucking arm wrestle this chick and then just smash clam with her.
that's right.
Hell yeah, Rhonda.
She looks like she
Jacob
says hello
said-
by punching you in the stomach.
Jacob says you might have to resend the envelope with Sirius XM on it.
Okay. Okay.
Rhonda,
Absolutely.
you have a great one, and thanks so much for calling.
Rhonda sounds like she calls a lot of people, like guys, she calls them champ.
Rhonda from Ohio.
Oh, no. Hey, I love you guys. I love everybody. Crackle, crackle.
Thank you, Crackle Crackle. That's Rhonda, everybody from Ohio. Yeah. Joining us now in the studio, it's officially official. Put the song on again, Lou. No, not Melissa Etheridge.
You know what? Do Melissa Etheridge.
Yeah, you know what? Let's crank it up. I don't care what they think. Joining us now, finally, the Legion of Skanks is in full flux, everyone. You know him from his special Libertas, available now. iTunes, gasdigital.com, gasdigitalnetwork.com. You know him from the Part of the Problem podcast on Gas Digital Network. It is Dave Smith, everyone. Dave Smith comes back.
Thank you.
Dave Smith.
Oh, look at that.
I think before you got here, we may have found our topic for a while here. That's a pretty good one about popularity in school. and where you fell into it. So I'm glad you joined this conversation because I don't know, Dave may have been more popular than me and you both, but maybe
Guaranteed. Yeah, Dave
I
was
was
an athlete.
I was the captain of the bodybuilding team.
not. You were tall, young, yeah.
I was young. Yeah, I imagine the same high school age as all of
No, I'm
us
saying,
were.
were you tall, young?
Oh, well, I was always like one of the taller kids.
I was
Handsome.
short old.
Were you short, old?
I was short old.
But I was never. I think what we all have in common. I was probably like
We were talking about in tiers.
not
so tiers.
Yeah, like not.
Hold on, let me explain what Jay means by that. Jay said he was third tier cool. So in Jay's mind, there was like this many. There was 5 tiers of cool in your high school.
4. No, 4 was.
So not even like
4 was
cliques. We're
retarded.
talking about
you
like
said.
Well, Jay
who's the
went to
coolest, and then there's-
Jay went to school in Philly, so like one of the tiers was just Bloods and Crips. The other one was like kids who were getting laid. No, I think I was like either the loser of the cool kids or the cool kid of the loser, like somewhere in that.
you were
That's a really great way to put it. I like that.
That like I don't know.
I wasn't really the cool kid of the losers either. We weren't.
Well, you are
losers.
now, buddy.
We were misfits.
What do you mean by misfits?
We used to get dressed up with skull makeup and pull our hair down in front of our face.
I'm Lewis only.
Yeah, it was crazy. We were the misfits actually.
Louis J. Danzig at your service. Mother.
Doom, doom, doom. Tell your children not to walk my way.
Whoa, mother. Lewis, if you start wearing mesh bodysuits, dude, that would make me so
You know, James,
happy.
my son, his first Halloween ever was
Mesh
Jerry
bodysuit?
only. Jerry only from
Oh, really?
Misfits. Yeah.
He didn't know what that was, though.
No, he was.
No,
a
it was his
baby.
choice.
You
He was
just
6
bullied him.
months old.
Yeah, you should have seen what else we did.
But we were talking about kind of the drama, too, of high school kids, like the cutters. And we were saying how we know a cutter, you know what we're talking about also, who kind of put you through it a bit. When
Wait, a cutter. I know who we're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's a girl that we know. That's
I only know
Oh,
one.
okay. Yeah. I know what we're talking about now.
And we'll wear.
It didn't take me long.
And we'll wear like tank tops and stuff, and you're like, okay, this is
I
uncomfortable.
literally
for
gave up a
everyone.
friendship with her because I can't be around it. I like her, and I'm just like, I just can't look at your arms. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you were never really friends with
No,
her,
but I would never let myself become closer to her.
Yeah, I agree. It's an aggressive short sleeve shirt. Like it's like, oh God, we got to have a conversation or something now.
It's my Me Too story for comedy.
Yeah, if you don't bring it up at all, like it's sort of weird for that. You know what I mean? Like you almost have to go.
I do.
Hey,
I'm
just so you know, I noticed this fucking blacklight novel you wrote on your arm.
I would just hand her a razor blade and be like, I think this is yours.
I think you dropped this.
You hand it to her, you go, where did you think your wrists were? He's handing it over, goes, right here.
You just take a Sharpie and mark her wrist. You got to cut here and here. And don't go across. Classic rookie mistake.
Jesus Christ! I know what she's not going to be, a sushi chef.
Yeah. You know that one fish you have to cut perfectly or it kills you? You're like, hey, we have our chef. I go, oh, shit, no, I know her, man. Get her out of that fucking kitchen. We're all going to die.
Start knocking the fish out of people's hands.
No. Is that to kill you if it's cut the wrong way fish? Don't eat that.
She's like, oh, I got this really cool sword. You're like, oh, put it down.
Let's sit here now that we have all three of us here. We'll regroup. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we have Dave from Philly dated a girl who was a cutter. Says she was way over the top. I like the wording of that. We're hanging out.
She used to arm wrestle.
With Dave Smith, Louis J. Gomez, the Legion of Skanks takeover right here on The Bonfire.
And now, back.
Questionable rhythm, but I'll tell you what, he's a menace on the dance floor. The Bonfire, Comedy Central's radio series XM 95. I'm Big J. Oakerson. Dan Soder, not here. He's all the way across the country at his Nana's house. But if you want, this weekend coming up, you're going to be able to catch him at Helium in Portland, Oregon. That's this Thursday through Saturday. For tickets and all our tour dates for Dan, go to dansoder.com. Joining us today, of course, the Legion of Skanks takeover. Dave Smith. Make sure you listen to Part of the Problem. And get his new album Libertas available all on the Gas Digital Network. Of course, Louis J. Gomez,
Yes.
here going big time to promote, which I started yesterday promoting here on the show, is Skank Fest. We gave a bunch of the names yesterday that we've announced already, and people are hyped for it, man. It's coming up July 14th, 15th.
Yes, sir.
VIP pre-party on the 13th.
Well, that's it. Don't even promote that anymore because the people that slept, those idiots that slept, those fools, those narcoleptic fools.
And if you're one of those fools, burn in hell.
Burn in
also,
hell.
the 14th and 15th are still available, so please get tickets.
Well, no, you're not getting the pre-party, but you can get in the 14th and 15th. What is it, Jay? What is Skankfest? It is a 2.5-day gun show. We sell guns. If you want guns, we got guns at Skankfest, guys. Shotguns, semi-automatic rifles.
Hey, you looking to shoot up your
handguns.
school? Maybe just intimidate your wife. Come on out to Skankfest.
You want to feel like a real man? You can never feel like a real man until you have a gun. Skankfest, Gunfest.
You've never felt so powerful, like nothing can stop you. I wish
always
somebody
said-
would try me.
You're not really alive until you've taken a life from someone else.
Their soul enters your body, and you become more.
And it's so easy. It's just pushing a button. It's not like a knife where you got to get up close and personal.
It's an amazing, amazing 2-day comedy festival. Of course, some of the names we could throw at you: David Tell, Ron Bennington, Michael Che, Pete Davidson. I mean, Big J. Oakerson, I hear, is going to make an appearance.
Yeah, he's going to crush it. Tony Hinchcliffe, Robert Kelly, Mike Lawrence, Bonnie McFarlane, Rich Voss, the entire New York, like, fucking badass, ballsy comedy world is going to be there. Plus, we have a bunch of incredible comics from the West Coast as well. Sal Vacano from the Impractical Jokers is going to be there. Lots of live podcasts.
Are you doing
Come
Ha?
down.
Are you going to do Ha?
I'm doing Ha the Musical. We're doing Goddamn Comedy Jam.
Yep.
We're doing Naked Roast Battle with Zach Amico. We're doing a 2-day Roast Masters tournament, which rumor has it we've already got some pretty big names signed on to fucking battle. Who knows if Ari Shafir and Big J are going to battle at the Roast Masters tournament? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
You are far more white than Puerto Rican. With
July
you're
14th.
better. You're way better at the pumping the fist thing than you are at dancing to.
Lewis goes big dancing during the break and promoting Skankfest. He'll be taking a nap for the next half hour.
Here's the deal. SkankFestNYC.com is a website, okay? I'm going to tell you right now. 100th caller, we're giving away a pair of free tickets. 100th caller on the line, pair of free tickets. Can you figure out which one's the 100th?
You're not going to fucking make Lou take 100 phone calls
Yeah,
right
you got
now?
to do it. You got to be like, sorry, you got to count them. Like, number 91. Remember, like, Z100 would do that?
I do, but they were always lying, by the way. The winner was already in the pocket during the commercial.
No.
I'll give you a little back door in the radio.
No way, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I would call and they'd be like, 92. I'm like, oh, I'm so close.
They would say 92 to you?
I won a stereo once with a record player attached to it in like 1998 from a radio station.
That's embarrassing for everybody involved in that.
I won Private Poison Pizza Party tickets from Z100.
That's not so bad, but that's like today. It's like, I want a toaster oven in 2017. Pretty crazy.
SkankFestNYC.com is the website. It's a 2.5-day comedy party. It's unlike any comedy festival you've ever been to. Yes, you're going to see the greatest fucking comics in the world. Yes, you're going to go out and watch the best podcasts in the world and radio shows in the world. But the major difference is you get to fucking party, you get to hang out, you get to experience the New York comedy scene in a way that has never been seen before. Get the tickets right now. SkankFestNYC.com. That's it.
And we're going to take our second break, everybody. Thank you for Sorry.
Not only do you get to see great comedians, you get to hang out with them, which is oddly depressing.
Lou, cut the music, and if you want to see me, I'll be in San Antonio this weekend. Nice and simple. Thursday through... Yeah, I think you still pump it. Thursday through Saturday, I'll be in San Antonio. Next weekend, Dr. Grins, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Awesome club out there, Dr. Grins. Come out to that at the Bob. And then that Sunday, I'll be Rock on the Range. So if you don't have your tickets, or you do have your tickets for Rock on the Range, Sunday night, I'll be headlining the Comedy Tent. That is Tool and Godsmack headlining that night. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get back to having some fucking fun here, because we had a call. I said Dave from Philly dated a girl who was a cutter. Said she was way over the top. Dave, you there, buddy?
Yes, I am.
You're on the Bonfire.
I've been following you guys since episode 1 pretty much, so I'm pretty stoked to get through.
Thank you, man.
But yeah, let me give you some little backstory here. It's interesting you were talking about with the tiers. I think I probably would have fallen into the third tier myself.
There is no third tier. Can we get this clear? There is cool or not cool.
I thought fourth tier was the retards.
All right, there's also the retard tier. Fine. There's 3 tiers. Cool, not cool, retards. Okay?
Which is tier 1?
Once I tell you why, it's the third tier.
Okay.
For the most part, I hung out with metalheads, but I also happen to be the top scorer on the lacrosse team. So a lot of people knew me.
Score in the name of Satan.
A lot of people knew me, but I didn't hang out with the sexy people, you know. But yeah, my first real girlfriend, it was probably, you know, like sophomore year through, you know, 18 years old.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so it was like 3 years together. She used to cut, and this isn't the one I'm going to get to, but she
God.
had, you know,
You tell stories like Big J.
yeah, dude. Like there's a line of.
Hold on, I have 3 cutter stories. Hang tight.
Yeah, you might have to get to one. Get to the better one, just for time's sake, Dave.
Well, no. It'll just take a minute. But this girlfriend, like,
Just overruled you. Now we're gonna do both.
By the way, I just take it too. I love they call. I would listen to the call all day. Jacob starts to get into a panic, and I don't want his head to quiver in that fucking.
Oh shit! His neck is spitting.
Go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry.
No, sorry, brother. So I mean, she had some cuts, you know, up and down her arm, but it was very, very sparse, and you wouldn't know they were there unless she showed you. And fast forward to like 2013. And I was doing online dating and whatever, and she didn't obviously say anything like that on her profile. But when I finally met up with her, she was wearing long sleeves, and she said, "I used to cut. You know, is that some? You know, would you have a problem with that?" And so, "Oh no, it's you know, everybody has a past." And
is your thought though? Is your thought there at that moment though? Like she may fuck fast though.
Rolled up her
if you see a
sleeve.
girl cut, you're like she's probably just like sure.
Yeah, like a batshit crazy girl would be, you know, it's almost in a weird way like I'm attracted to crazy chicks. It's just that when I see a cutter's arms, I want to puke. So I can't.
Yeah,
like
Lewis likes a girl who cuts herself on the inside.
Yes.
And Lewis hasn't gotten to puke porn yet, so
yeah, I'm not into that at all. So I mean, imagine that though.
If you were in puke porn,
imagine like she was into a puker and I was into a cutter, and we just like found each other.
That's called soulmates, Lewis. You should look that up.
Capulets, Montagues.
Go ahead, Dave.
But she rolled up her sleeves, and it looked like a fucking tiger mauled her on both arms. Like no inch of space where there was not big gashes, raised too.
Well, maybe she had a terrible tiger attack story, and the cutter thing was just a cover.
Maybe that's why she started cutting, because those tigers fucked her up.
Okay, truth to full disclosure, I was on a boat with a tiger for a long journey.
It was a small rowboat.
That's a long story to tell you that she's also the trans boy from Life of Pi. Also, I was born Pi. Dave?
But yeah, it's yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things like you do when you're 15, 16 years old. It's kind of like meth mouth. I mean, you can fuck up as much as you want, but that shit's going to be following you around forever. And I definitely agree with you. Like, I don't understand it. I don't like it. Even though, you know, hanging out with metal people, you see a bunch of shit. But that's just too fucking much. And it's fucking retarded.
Yeah, it's a ridiculously dramatic way to, like, make your point. It doesn't really do any damage. You know, there's no fear of anything. It's just
look,
to just be like, I'm so bummed. This is.
I don't know if that's always true.
Room.
Here's what happens, right? You get people that are like, you know, have like borderline personality disorder or have like real psychological disorder, and the pain that they cause themselves causes them true like comfort. So they're not thinking about like always about like, oh my God, what am I going to see? They're not trying to kill themselves. They're not. What they're actually trying to do is they're actually trying to hurt themselves. And people do this a lot. If you look it up, like it's not just cutting themselves. People hit themselves, or people will
for attention. You're saying
not for attention, because hurting themselves gives them some sort of satisfaction.
I think it's something to do with like controlling your own pain.
Yes.
So it's like you have like the things that are bothering you in life, but then you can like make it like tangible and you just fucking control it. But I don't know.
That's
I'm
the
not
textbook.
crazy.
But that's the textbook psychology of it, though. But you guys are sort of saying the same thing. But it is that it's like you're able to like.
There's definitely something about it. I think
the
all
comfort
those
is you're
things-
like, I did this to myself. I know. Look,
But I think there's an element of what you're saying too. Like there's an element of like, it's like see how fucked up I am, what I'm doing. Like I don't know.
I think there's probably also cutters that hide it from everybody in the world and never show anybody.
No,
right? I'm sure there's plenty of those.
There's
out there
that. I
as well.
said before.
I'm saying they're gross, but I do understand.
In trying to describe even the thing with my skin, I was like, it's weird how much I obsess on like looking at them. Yet if I think I told you this, Dave, actually, that if I like took like a cigarette or something and like burned, like put a cigarette burn on every one of those like dots on my body, it wouldn't haunt me as much because I'd be like, oh, I did it.
And it'd probably be more fun if Christine had a strap on and was really tagging you while you did that.
Yeah. I like a Japanese businessman who used me like an ashtray while Christine pisses on my face. I'm into some pretty weird shit now, Lewis, so fuck your high school nonsense. Dave, thanks for the call, buddy.
All right, thanks for taking me, man.
That was not. And I'll tell you what. I don't know. We're not going to take the call right this second. But Jeff in Philly says his brother dated a girl that carved his initials into her inner thigh. I bet that chick sucked. But that's a crazy one. That's not so bizarre. I told you a girl that I broke up with once. So I went back to her house to like, say bye or get my stuff or whatever. Like she was like with a knife, like tapping a knife into like the hardwood floor with her makeup all smeared, just going like, nothing is real anymore. And I was like, I
had a girl once.
I'm just gonna grab my toothbrush and get out of here.
I had a girl that I fucked once. I used to fuck her a lot. You guys, I'll tell you who she is off the air too.
You fucked her once a lot?
No, I fucked her a bunch. And one time she got like fucked up for a while. She was on like drugs and shit. One time I'd like come over in like the middle of the night and fuck her like randomly. And then one time she was all fucked up and she took out a knife and she was a cutter. She had like shit on her, right? And I just kind of like ignored it because you're a horny dude. And she cut it and she cut herself.
But she's creative. After 2 a.m., I'm not puking at your stupid arm slashes.
No, she cut her stomach. That's where she would cut. It wasn't even her arms because she didn't want people to see it. She would like model and shit.
Marilyn Manson in her
No,
stuff.
but then she did it in front of me. She like grabbed the knife and like fucking just dragged it across her stomach, and I just watched blood pour down her stomach, and I was like, all right, I came.
Yeah. You were like, well, this dick's not going to suck itself. Hey, Carrie, this dick's not going to suck itself.
No, that I grabbed the knife out of her hand, and then I'm like wrestling with a knife. I was like, what am I doing? I need to leave, and you kill your, do whatever you got to do. Like,
she's like, don't you have anything to say about this? She's like, whatever keeps you thin, babe.
Just goes, hey, before I get out of here, let me get my fingerprints on that knife.
I know, it's exactly the point. I'm like, she's gonna fucking kill herself, and I'm gonna get in trouble for it.
Is blood salty? People are really hung up on these tiers of popularity.
What, the tiers of popularity?
Yeah,
this doesn't exist.
Bobby in Pennsylvania says he was second tier cool. He tried to carve a girl's initials into his body and got her name wrong.
Oh, I definitely carved Kristen Welsh's initials into my body. There's a KW like in my arm in a few different places.
I have a few times did it. I did went and got the tattoo of the Chinese letters of my ex-girlfriend's name, and that story turns out it was not only
listening to you guys, I think I was in a higher tier in high school than I thought I was. Now that I'm hearing all this, I'm like, yeah, I guess I had it pretty good.
Well, I got my girlfriend's initials in the Chinese characters, and then not only is it no such thing as Chinese characters for letters, as we found out after everybody already got them. Also, she gave me her wrong initials because she didn't know her own initials. So I have like the wrong.
Yeah.
Even if they were the right letters, they're the wrong letters.
Yeah.
So I understand that fucking move. Yeah, guys do a lot of dumb. But again, it's sort of like you were saying you were going back to your joke you had a while back about like picking the door to punch.
Yeah.
Like nobody punches the steel door. Everybody punches like the closet door you can put your fist through. It's the same kind of thing.
Climb 7 flights of stairs to get to that closet.
It's the same kind of
thing. Hold on, bitch. I'm going to meet you upstairs, and I'm going to fuck this closet up.
It's something that's like not going to make, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of picking your mark a little bit.
Of course. Of
you
course.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. I've never punched a brick wall in my life.
I was more intrigued by the guy saying he had the girlfriend through pretty much all through high school, and I didn't make a difference. I didn't have I wasn't playing the field in high school, so it didn't matter for me either way. But I didn't. But that experience for
Jay
people,
was benched in high school. In
that
every
experience
way
for people who like got married like pretty quickly after high school or college and stuff. Like I'm gonna have people feel like they wasted like 3 years being with somebody like to do your whole. I remember that like the couples of high school, they were kind of together a lot of it, several years, and you'd be like. If they do end up together, they're miserable usually. I know there's like exceptions to the rule, obviously, but I mean, like people who stay together for those 3 years. Don't you feel like, in hindsight, if you were like a normal popular kid, when you think you were like, shit, why did I?
I mean, I guess you might feel that way, but it's like a grass is greener type thing. But I don't know if those people are any more miserable than people who just like fuck a ton and then settle down. Like
I don't miserable. I'm just saying, in time you're almost like
getting laid regularly.
Forget the fucking. I'm talking about of putting in your high school years. Going through relationship shit, like how many? It's like how could you conversations and like the guy be like, did you talk to so and so? Like you put in these high emotional. Yeah, you put yourself in these high emotional situations with someone where you're like, it's not gonna like in 10 years you're gonna forget every emotional thing I had with like my ex-girlfriend Cheryl when I was like a teenager. It's so if I saw her I'd be like, hey.
Yeah, that's one of the things that as an adult that you kind of do. Like anytime I'm like going through anything I go through, I now can go. I have 36 years of being able to go back and go, okay, time heals. Every single time I know a year from now, I'm not going to give a fuck. And that kind of lets me get through whatever it is. I go, just the time is going to pass on this, and I'm not going to, whatever, you break up with a chick, you lose an opportunity, whatever it is, you won't even think about it. And then you start to look for
Lewis,
the
don't punch this cab driver. He's going to die eventually.
In a year, I'll be punching a different cab driver. Won't even care about this cab driver.
If I'm patient enough and wait, I don't know, whenever I'm done doing what I got dropped off here to do, I could have a whole new cab driver to fight with.
Yeah, but that's why nothing, like getting your heart broken when you're like 16 or something like that, there's nothing worse than that because you have none of that perspective.
Yeah, you literally
like,
think that's it. You're like, when they're your first love, I remember Kristen Welsh, that girl, like breaking up with her and like just convulsing, like crying so hard that it was like fucking what? Because
I hate it. Just smashing your face into your mattress. Like, I hate it. Oh, the world's over. Lewis, do you want to have dinner?
Wait, what'd you cook?
It's like
Get out of my room.
like the sound that Arnold made in Total Recall.
You got exposed to the atmosphere on Mars. That's yeah, and I did everything, every single piece of heartbreak. Even if I didn't like date and hook up in high school at all, like there were still the girls I liked, and it seemed like they liked you for a little bit, and like, all those things were just soul crushing. And yeah, you have no, and you can't explain.
Like I had already learned the defense mechanism to not like girls that didn't like me. I was done having by the time high school came around. There was no longer I'm going to crush on a chick. Like if there was a hot chick in school, I didn't have like a secret crush. I was like competent enough to have a conversation. 9 times out of 10, that hot chick hated me, and we were like, I didn't like her, and I would call her a fucking stupid bitch and whatever it is.
Stupid bitch! I'm gonna go jerk off to how dumb you are.
I can't do math.
Idiot. You're such a dummy. No, listen. What I found is impossible because I had to do it with I tried to do it with my brother at one point.
Butt sex?
And even Isabella now is yeah, straight up butt sex.
Butt sex show got
and
dark.
You know what's funny? The society's not for it. No, trying to explain the perspective of time, like time healing. It's you can't, even if you tell them that. I told my brother that when he was getting like bullied and stuff in school. I remember going and being like, dude, I promise you, this is all such bullshit.
He's like, I'm 5'2" and I'm 19.
Well, it's true, but I told him I told him like stick up for himself. I was like, just stick up for yourself because it's all it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, just don't eat this shit. You don't have to. It's like you're gonna not know these people in 3 years, 2 years, a year. You know?
I don't know. Maybe fucking 30 years from now, you own a big car dealership, and then he starts up the same old dojo, and you end up having all the same problems you had in high school. Yes, I'm watching it. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Episode 6. Not as good as Jay says. Come on.
No, it's better than Jay says.
It's not. It's a problem.
And Lewis, you are the dummy of this group.
It's good. Look, it's a good show.
Listen,
you fucked up and you oversold it, dude.
I didn't.
No.
He said it's the best show he's ever seen.
It is.
I didn't say
It is
that.
the perfect mix of like.
I said it's genius.
It's the perfect mix of like nostalgia and corniness and 80s and action and just it's perfect.
The funny's funny,
love
but
it.
there's real
love
funny in it. Yeah,
love
It's
it.
not. Look, it's great.
Cobra Kai.
But here's the thing. My problem is I feel like nostalgia is designed for fucking morons. It's really designed for dumb people. It just taps into this little thing that people just go like, huh,
that's fine. Well, here's why we don't
that reminds me of my childhood.
Here's
That's
why
great.
We've been having a 40-minute conversation about high school just now.
Yeah, we don't even. It's true. We don't even have to argue that point, though. My thing about it, what I think is genius, isn't the nostalgia. The nostalgia's fun because it's nostalgic to me.
Jason, never underestimate nostalgia. Show me print offense.
Show me Red. Show me.
No, it's not the nostalgia for me. I think the actual the message. I think it's awesome. I think I think the storyline of it, how they did it, is really.
I think it's cool. I'm just saying it was oversold to me a little bit. So.
I think I sold it to you just the way it's supposed to be.
I say you undersold it, buddy.
Thanks, bro.
Better than you said it was.
Well, it's coming from a tier one tier 1 popularity
Yeah.
guy. What am I, this goth dork tell me what's going to be good to watch?
You want to listen to the hot tier 4 takes over there? No.
Yeah, but I would have been Miyagi's student. I would have been one of the fucking. He would have protected me, and you would have been one of the fucking assholes in the skeleton costumes.
You are so much more Cobra Kai, and I'm so much more Miyagi-Do karate.
No, we're both Cobra Kai. All three of us are kind of Cobra Kai, to be honest.
All right, yeah, let's just go push some dork off a cliff.
Smoke some weed and beat up this kid and fucking.
Stop biking.
Fucking hit you, bike. Hit you, bike. Oh wow, Bobby and Hershey PA. I do want to take this call because this opens up a whole new world of conversation that I love.
Anytime somebody from Hershey, Pennsylvania calls Jay, assumes they might have chocolate for him.
Oh, Bobby, Bobby, you there?
Crackle, crackle.
Crackle, crack. Welcome to the bonfire, Bobby. Quick question: do you have any chocolate?
I will send you whatever chocolate you want.
Yes. The only time I ever went to Hershey Park in my life for a school trip. Everybody.
You came with a bib and forks.
No, I may have never told you this. Or we didn't go to Hershey Park. We went to Hershey, PA, but they took us to like the Hershey, like the chocolate store, and everyone was buying like candy bars and whatever. And I saw a bag, just like a clear plastic bag of like these chocolate discs, but it was like gargantuan for like way less money than everybody was spending on these score bars and whatever they were getting. So I went home with that and got in the bus to go back to Philly. And so then I'm like, hey, everybody. And it was just unsweetened baking chocolate. It was like the grossest thing ever. It was just grotesque.
How many
I was
pieces
like, everybody
did you
jealous.
How many pieces did you get through before you gave up?
I think even after I found that, I kept eating it just to be like, I don't even care. You don't want to tell anybody it sucks. You go, no, I went this on purpose, and I don't need the sugar.
It's healthier.
Yeah, it's better for you, actually. So you guys enjoy your big, fat, delicious almond joys. Bobby, yeah, go ahead. Tell us what your story here, because I think this. All right, Bobby's gone. I swear to you, he just hung up when we said that. That's
Bobby was
hilarious.
cutting
Bobby,
himself.
call back if you can, buddy. Well, what he was going to tell us the story was of his girlfriend cutting herself like in a car next to him. Like started doing that crazy shit. Like, and it got me thinking. I was like, I've had girlfriends or just seen girls, even viewed other people having where somebody in a couple does something like wildly crazy in that. And I'm sure the callers have a zillion stories of a significant other or somebody doing something bonkers in your presence. And you know what, Lou? Do you think this is a caller topic?
Yeah.
Well, let him have it then.
I'm not ready.
You piece of shit. We have caller topics every day.
What's the topic? Just seeing chicks do crazy shit?
Chicks or guys, like just guys doing crazy. Like, yeah, because I mean, like, I think I've definitely put out the energy before. It goes, I don't even show just fucking do it. Like, headbutting stuff again, almost like your thing of punching the wall, but like a genuinely like more crazy, like knocking yourself out.
Oh yeah, I've done stupid shit.
Yeah, I've never cut myself for sure.
I've never cut myself, but I've definitely like hit myself. I've headbutt things before, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, Bobby's back. Hang on, Bobby. Go ahead.
He's like, sorry, I just headbutted a wall.
Sorry, guys.
No worries.
So, I was dating this girl, and for my 21st birthday, my aunt got me tickets to Cedar Point. So we went together and decided that would be the perfect place to lose our virginity.
Sandusky, Ohio, home of Callahan Auto Parts.
Nice.
Yes, sir. And long story short, it did not go well for the first time. It's not like in the movies, So on the way home, she kind of loses it a bit. Sorry about that. I'm driving on the way to a gig. And so she loses it. She finds a knife in my glove compartment and starts cutting her leg.
I don't want to interrupt your story, but I also love the fact that you wanted to throw it in there that you're a performer. He's like, hey, dude, sorry about that. I'm on my way to a gig. It's being awesome. Anyway.
I assumed it was more awesome than what was happening right now. What do you do, Bobby? You're a musician?
No, I'm a comedian. I actually submitted for Skank Fest. I was hoping Lewis would recognize my voice and be like, you made it.
That's a lot from a phone call. It's got to be really hard.
How much of these videos do you think we listen to? If you don't crush in the first 34 seconds of that video, it is gone.
34 seconds. That's quite a... That's a tall order, Bobby. But go ahead. So she started cutting herself on her legs?
Yeah, like on her leg. And, so I'm trying to wrestle the knife from her. But Ohio construction, like it's one lane, medians on both sides. Like I'm trying to wrestle the knife from her. And, eventually she wrestles it away from me. And I find another knife I have in my car. So I start threatening to cut myself, too. if she cuts herself, and finally get her to stop. And like she's crying.
What a weird way to try to checkmate a cutter.
Yeah, also, you shouldn't be trying to wrestle her while you're driving down a highway.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Bobby?
Also,
You're the problem.
How many readily available knives are there in your car?
So, all right, so then she got that knife. I realized I got another knife in my boot.
I like to save some for me, babe. Let me get a little bit of that slicey action.
I
huh?
thought you were going to say you got a knife, and you said, if you cut yourself, I'm going to stab you to death, bitch.
I told her that's not enough. This knife.
So she panicked when you said you'll cut yourself?
Yeah, and we kind of stopped, and then we were in a rest area, and I never thought the lowest point of my life would be crying in a rest stop in Sandusky, Ohio. But I hit it.
Huh. Jesus Christ.
Did you wear a condom?
I did.
That's the problem.
He's like, but I did suck her blood out of her leg.
Well, for everyone who's always like, oh, make sure you wear a condom. Hey, you want to end up knife fighting a chick and crying in Sandusky, Ohio?
That's one of my
Take that
biggest
thing
regrets,
off.
dude. When I lost my virginity, I wore a condom. I'm like, what a waste.
I wore a condom when I lost my virginity, too. Yeah, first, actually, for a
Not
while.
me.
I think until my first official girlfriend, then I didn't wear a condom. And then she got pregnant when she was like, we were young, so... no, I don't know. I'd have been happy because if you lose it without a condom, it's probably hard to go. It's probably better to not know about it for a while. You just kind of assume it's the way it goes.
On my second time, I didn't wear a condom.
I remember the first blowjob I ever got, and like being so hyped up for what a blowjob was supposed to be in my mind, and you're just like, oh my, wouldn't the greatest thing ever to be have a chick suck your dick, and you just imagine like the feeling of awesomeness everywhere in your dick, and then it's like, I'm like 16 and nervous, and I have some other 16-year-old who doesn't know what the fuck she's doing, just kind of like playing, putting her mouth like on the very top of my dick and weirdly, awkwardly turning. And I remember just being like, this sucks, man. Like, this is nothing like what the dream was.
Teenage girls are terrible at giving head. That's
Still
the
they
point of
are.
all this. They really are. They're not good. They don't get it.
I think they're better
You know,
now.
I
'cause they
love
walk
knocking
around
older,
shit.
and they still give toothy beaches.
Because you're right, they watch porn now, but I think what it is young guys, 15, 16-year-old boys, we don't have the balls to say, hey, dummy, stop doing that. You're hurting my dick. We don't want to hurt their feelings.
I
We're
don't
so
know if any
excited.
age, if that's the way to play it.
We're so excited to have our dick
No,
in a
that's
girl's mouth.
that's the script you read.
And no, but I'm saying though, like you don't tell a girl kind of what you want. Even like it was like way older before I started like actually telling a chick what I like in bed. It was very like strange.
No, that's true. That's true. But I mean, also at what's just fun? Isn't it funny though? I thought you were going to say that at the time the blowjob was like, oh man, this is happening. My dick's in her mouth. To getting to being in your 30s or 40 and like. Sometimes you think about other things while you're getting blown. You're like, oh shit! Like, didn't I forget to leave? Did I leave something at Ralph's house?
Yeah, sure. It owns like a bigger mental space, but it's almost like the big thing. In a weird way, it's like the thing is like, I've done this now. Like I can like tell my boys I got my dick sucked. I'm like a guy who got his dick sucked. But I thought it was just gonna feel so amazing, and then it was like to me like trying to keep a boner. Like it was like a real like reality moment where
While
you're
some
like,
girl
oh.
fucking side tooths your dick like she's trying to break fucking rock candy.
When was the first time I came from a blowjob?
Me and you were hanging out. It was the.
He goes, Dave knew how to throw his shoulders into it, and that's be like, we got to take our second break here. We're going to keep on this subject here because John from Missouri is going to tell us about his friend's wife committing suicide in her wedding dress with roses around her after the divorce. So fun like that coming when we get back. We're hanging out with the Legion of Skanks. It is the Legion of Skanks takeover here on the Bonfire. Celebrating the Puerto Rican rattlesnake on the Legion of Skanks takeover right here on the Bonfire, Comedy Central Radio, Sirius XM 95. Davey Smith, he's got part of the problem, his podcast on gasdigitalnetwork.com, as well as his special Libertas, which is absolutely fucking great. Grab that on gasdigitalnetwork.com as well. If you want to check me out this week, I'm going to be in San Antonio. I'll be in Dr. Grin's Grand Rapids the weekend after that. Rock on the Range, bigjcomedy.com for all my dates. Dan Soder going to be at Helium this weekend, Portland, Oregon. That is this Thursday through Saturday. For tickets and all of Dan's tour dates, go to dansoder.com. Louis J. Gomez, not just one of the owners of gasdigitalnetwork.com, who cultivates the whole network. It really is impressive what he's done, but you know, the Legion of Skanks present to you a work of on the backs of Louis, Christine, and Rebecca Trent, and that is Skank Fest, Year 3, NYC this summer, Saturday, July 14th, Sunday, July 15th, the Brooklyn Bazaar, Brooklyn, New York. Get tickets for that at skankfestnyc.com. Again, it is just a nonstop party, midnight till question mark. I mean, we have programming till 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it's noon till about 2 in the morning, but it's a party. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop, and we did those cruises together, and that was sort of the big influence of it. We did Shiprocked and Impractical Jokers cruise, and you're on these things, you're performing, and you can't escape the fans. That was the thing that I noticed. I was like, oh shit, we're literally at sea for 5 days with these people. You cannot escape them, and it was amazing. It wasn't like, oh, I can't escape the fans. This sucks. You sign up for it, kind of knowing that, and you go, shit, it's a different type of experience that you have with the fans.
Makes you nicer to the fans. You can't be like, out of my way, dickhead, and then be next to them at the buffet tomorrow.
You're like, hey, fuck stick. That was my drink. It's like, very sorry. Yeah, I thought so. Next thing the buffet goes, hey, fuck stick.
That is your name, right?
Hey, fuck stick. Can you pass me a fork?
But that was sort of the influence. We saw that, and I said, well, why would we make a comedy festival in 10 different venues in a city where everyone's spread out and there's no cohesiveness? It's a party. Comedy festival is a weird way to put it. It's a comedy party. If you're lucky enough to get tickets, skankfestnyc.com is the website. And I want to give a special shout out to Sven Stoffels, who on a day's notice fucking saved our asses and put together the incredible artwork for Skankfest.
The artwork is awesome.
Did a
and
great
we had
job,
a
yeah.
call. We had somebody from Ohio, I believe it was, who called and then said they wanted tickets. The 100th caller got
Is it
through.
the 100th caller?
No, she hung up.
What a dumb bitch.
What I want to talk about, Legion of Skanks, as I'm sure most of the campers here know, we'll take a swipe at the funny on the darker side of life.
Not me. I keep it clean.
Not
Jay
Dave's
on
all-
Bonfire. If you don't listen to the Legion of Skanks, Jay is like Jay on the Bonfire is like Bruce Banner, and on Legion of Skanks you're like the Hulk.
No. It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty rank here. It goes pretty rank for sure. But I mean, this is 3 voices.
No, here's what happens though. No, on the Bonfire, if you guys did see the new Avengers movie, Infinity War,
don't spoiler alert.
I don't want to spoil. Okay,
You don't have to give this analogy. What happens here is there is one skank dealing with Dan, who is hilarious, but he's vanilla Dan, So we meet kind of in the middle of like filthy and just like and just plain old funny subjects of whatever. The skanks, we go and make there's 3 of us, different personalities, similar take on what's going to be
I feel
funny.
like on Skanks, we'll push the limits as far as they can go, and I'm not familiar with what happens here.
are we on a TV show right now?
Yes, smile.
No, I think that we are also. It's similar sensibility, but I think it's meaner. And what happens is this, right?
Well, I don't think it's mean. I think mean is a bad description. It's not meant to be mean.
It's not mean. It's a little bit. It's a little harsher. I think we don't shy away from the mean, and it's almost like you kind of whoever you hang. What's the saying about your friends? Like you are who you hang out with, or whatever.
You are what you eat.
No. No.
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
No, that's not it. You can lead a horse to water.
Cunnilingus is
to drink. No, but you know what I'm saying about
bird in the hand.
Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house.
Oh, look at the pot calling the kettle, huh?
No, but I think when you're around Dan, I think Dan just is a very friendly, likable, sweet guy, and you come off a little bit more like friendly, and it's just kind of sillier. And then when you come to me and Dave, we're just like bitter, angry, dark people. We're really not happy people.
I don't describe myself this way at all.
Lewis takes a lot of liberties describing everything. He goes,
No,
Jay,
we're
Pretty happy guy.
You're all
Feel like
fucked up.
everything's going pretty good.
Dan's a dork. You're a piece of shit. Me and Dave are grumpy, and then we just go fucking yell on the microphones.
Well, I think we bring out like a darker thing in you than Dan brings
I do
out in
think
you.
that we have. I've said this to Lewis before in conversations that I go, if you look at our stand-up, the 3 of us just as stand-up comics, they're very different as stand-up comics. Every single time we do stand-up comedy, we risk getting booed out of the building. And I don't mean that in like we do well. All of us do very well. But you say things, every single act you're on, that could turn the crowd against you. Like we all have this kind of thing where like we'll try to hit a lightning rod of a subject and get laughs out of it. And so when the 3 of us are together, it's just like we almost compete with each other over who can get funny out of like a more you shouldn't be talking about this subject.
This weekend at Caroline's, I thought the crowd was going to turn at one point. I was able to pull them back together, but I forget.
Well, by the sixth joke about your daughter's pussy, it starts to get a little, hey, man.
Spoiler alert. No, what was the thing I said? I made something, I said some reference to like Asian, like childhood sweatshops, like little girl sweatshops in Asia, and the crowd got weird, they got weird about that. I go, I'm like, I made these girls up, and I go, we can do whatever we want to them, man. Make our fucking iPods, and just kick them in their dumb little pussies. I go, make fun of them while they're crying and going, oh, dong, ding, dong. I go, oh, and the crowd was just kind of like, where are you going? I was like, something else. Hey, something else, everybody. No, it was. We do. I think it goes. And look, why not? Let's never waste an opportunity to see if we can make some funny out of something horrific. John in Missouri, you're on the bonfire, buddy.
Hey guys, crackle, first time caller, but I listen to the podcast and the show.
Yeah, bitch.
That's how Lewis says thank you.
You guys were talking about something totally different earlier, so this may take a left turn now. But
no.
Blow jobs.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite Pitbull song.
So anyway, yeah, I had a good friend of mine that actually called me, and he and his wife had split up. They were separated, getting ready to start divorce proceedings. He hadn't heard from her in a while.
But a lot of times when that happens, you're a happier person, right?
It's true. True.
Generally, divorce usually is ending a situation that two people weren't happy in. They can both go find happiness. Yeah. John, finish your story. I'm sorry.
No problem. Yeah, he actually went to her parents' asked if he could go check on her, and actually found her in the garage of their house,
making out with a new young guy who was making her so happy.
Finally getting her arts and crafts business off the ground.
She was happy, and he was happy for her.
Studying for the LSATs. Yes, John, are we close?
She did have a hose in her mouth, but it was from the tailpipe.
Oh, what a whore. She sucked off a car?
Oh, man. What a way to go. Well, I guess the car finished. That's a good sign.
In her wedding dress.
Wait, hold on. We just left over a very important detail in the story.
What happened, John? I'm sorry.
No, so he found her in the car, obviously full of fumes, in her wedding dress, surrounded by flowers, and listening to their wedding play their soundtrack.
Sounds like the perfect bride to me.
What were the songs? It'd have been great if it was like...
I did not go into that.
It'd be great if it was like... And I came in and Skilos, I Wish I Was a Little Bit Taller, I Wish I Was a Baller was playing.
It was My Last Breath by Evanescence. Every breath you take by the police.
That was my guys.
So he found her like that.
He found her like that. Yeah.
So he's all fucked up forever, right? There's no way you come out of that all right.
Reaffirmed.
Yeah, I would think so.
You know what? That's like.
What was that?
You know, like when like a school shooter or someone like a mass shooter, like they're basically committing suicide. They know they're gonna die, but they're like, I'm gonna take you motherfuckers out with me when I go do this. That's almost like her mentality in that suicide, where she's like, I'm gonna kill myself, but I'm also gonna fuck you for life. Because you're going to come and see me in your wedding dress.
It would have been great if he just took a selfie with it and then called the cops and went to go bang another chick. He's like, dude, crazy thing, my ex got all weird today. I fucking sucked off a car. Your friend is okay or no? There's no way.
Oh, yeah, he's okay. He's actually remarried now, probably a little more careful.
He's married to a tractor trailer.
And his lawn is just completely brown because he has no hoses in the house anymore. No more hoses. Is
that the way she did it? Did she connect a hose literally to the tailpipe of a car?
Yeah, into the car window.
Really? Do you have to do that? Because I always assume I would turn the car on.
You can do it that way too. I think, but
That's
I think
probably
the hose,
a better way.
I think the hose gets it right to you probably quicker.
Yeah,
however,
it's more efficient. She's a smart girl.
However, I will say the
unlike
hose,
those dumb cutters.
The hose does a little bit of the hose, even the most like shallow or just like basic comedy mind, does kill the drama of the picture of her in the wedding dress on. I guess I'm just saying, if you're going to put on a wedding dress and do the roses thing, like, kill yourself. Not like you hate to think she's all gussied up like that and she's like a forester.
No, I literally
I think with a hose in her mouth. It's like you want the thing to be very like.
I pictured her on her stomach with the end of the carburetor in her mouth. Like just like sucking it in.
Like the car that was fucking her from behind took off.
He high-fived me, I'm out.
He goes, "Oh, dude, I'm on probation."
This bitch is freaky.
Put the fucking hose in my mouth. You want it, bitch? She goes, Daryl, I don't think you should do it, man. I know she's asking for it, bro. I mean, Jesus, that is
multiple cars, even worse.
That's good God, what a terrible story.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever discovering a body. That's crazy. SVU every week. I watch SVU. Or not SVU. They used to have what was the one? Vincent D'Onofrio, Criminal Intent. That was like the actual. It was always murder, and like it was in New York. You know, it's everything like the joggers go. I just saw an arm hanging out of a bush, and it's like that's always like I've never even.
I would never call the cops. I really mean this, and I swear, if I saw an arm hanging out of a bush,
you go find your fat friend in the military kid and be like, "You guys want to see a dead body? When the night has come."
I really wouldn't though, because my friend Toby, you remember Toby?
Leeches.
Toby was a serial murderer.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Toby. Oh, he was your waiter at 1 year for your birthday.
Yeah, so
Ninja.
I do remember him. Yeah, he was an original Ginger Ninja because he was a ginger.
Yeah,
and he worked at a place called Ninja Sushi.
Yeah, Ninja.
The most successful of all of Lewis's childhood friends.
Well, he
climbed to the level of waiter.
Oh yeah, I was going to say ninja.
Bike riding ninja.
I was going to give him more than he deserved, I guess.
Part-time ninja, part-time delivery man.
What about him?
He, right after 9/11, like maybe 6 months after, he found a note in Port Authority, just on the door, like taped to the door, that said, "There's a bomb in Penn Station." That's all it said. And
at Port Authority?
I'm sorry, Penn Station.
I was going to say, that's a weird place to put a note for a bomb to Penn Station.
So,
what's he, fucking Die Hard 3? You have 1 hour to solve this riddle.
If you pick up a phone, they will die.
Yeah. The doctor's his uncle. The doctor's his uncle. The doctor's his uncle.
I'm here. A nickel. The other one's not a nickel.
Toby's like, Lewis, this guy got it. There was no bomb in it.
A hole. The answer's a hole. No, but he found a note inside a Penn Station that said there's a bomb in Penn Station. And then he's like, it's a shithead selling comedy club tickets, 19-year-old kid. He's like, all right, I guess I'll bring this over to the cop or security. Assuming it's not even real. Like, just
wait, do you say with no explanation? He goes, hey, officers. They just think you should probably be saying, like, I found this.
Face down on the desk and slid it over to them.
He goes, guys, your move. Well, it looks like the ball's in your court, officers. I've done my duty.
No, but yeah, he goes, I found this in Penn Station, and they detained him for like 2 days.
Jesus. Really?
It was crazy.
2 days?
Of course.
Yeah, it was like 2 full days. It was nuts. It was fucking nuts. But this is also right after 9/11, so everything was crazy. It was a crazier time. But my point is,
waterboarded.
If I find a body, I'm not dealing with even the few hours of questioning that it's going to take. You're not going to go, hey, there's a body, I got to be out, peace, and then they're going to let you just go. There's going to be a whole to-do. They're going to question you. They're going to fuck up your day. They'll let the next person find that body. That's a very New York big city attitude to have. Like, even if I saw somebody dying in the street, somebody got hit by a bus, I would assume somebody else would take care of it, and I would go on with my day.
Yeah, now you're just turning into a bad person.
No, I'm not. I also can't look at blood. That would fuck me
But
up.
if you saw a body,
yeah,
you wouldn't say anything.
No.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
I might call 911.
That's what you should do. Because you
be like, hey, there's a body. I don't have time to wait around for you. Just so you know, I didn't do it.
It's an aggressive call to make.
Hey, just so you know.
He goes, yeah, there's a body over here, but don't fucking expect shit from me. Just know there's a body. You should probably give your information and stuff. So the problem is when you report it, you are giving yourself a bit of a hassle because you, as the person reporting it, have to immediately, which usually could be done in moments, let them know that you're not the person who's done this.
I don't think.
But if you just if you just call and go, I'm not going to be here when you get here, so goodbye. Like they're probably going to come knock on your door at some point.
There's a body. I had nothing to do with it, but he probably had it coming.
There's a Vice article about this. Do you have?
Guy looks like a dick.
Do you have to tell the cops if you find a dead body? It depends on where you live.
Morally, yes.
That's really interesting. Depending on the jurisdiction, you don't legally have to.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't legally. I guess I can even tell you legally have to, but
Well, some places you do, some places you don't, it seems.
I feel like my instincts would be just to do something.
I wonder
Yeah, you'd have to call.
jerk off.
I think my instinct. I think before I even called, though, I'd be doing the like it would take me probably 40 minutes to officially look at it. I go, okay, I can't. I'd be doing a lot of that.
Hello, 911. You're going to find a dead body. You might find a little bit of my jizz on top, but the autopsy should show that was after it was
Okay,
dead.
fine. I put it in the position where it was humping a reindeer on my neighbor's lawn. Fine.
I'm sorry, but just I
It's
am
fucking
reporting it
hilarious.
now. You still got about 36 of the first 48 to solve this thing, and I have a pretty sick ass Christmas card. So.
He's just getting double teamed by reindeer on somebody's front lawn.
That's my Aunt Judy. That was your Aunt Judy.
Now she's their Aunt Judy.
Yeah. Now she's a whore for the wise men. Yeah, get you some nativity. I am getting hornivity.
and a dead body in a fucking Christmas fucking front lawn. So
wrapped in blinky lights.
Well, that's what we would do. We would take the deer and make them hump. That was like a suburban prank that kids would do. Like, the deer that are on the lawn that glow. You make them hump. I remember we did that. Me and my buddy Vinny and my buddy Yaver. We did this and fucking this guy saw us doing it. It wasn't even his house. It was just some fucking asshole was furious that we were daring to do this in Garnival, New York. And he chased us with his car. We were in a car. It was a whole thing. He tried to block us in a shopping center. It was very dangerous.
That is weird. Which I don't want to take our last break here because we have a fun call on the phone that should we take after the break here. He might want to jump in on the subject I had to talk to you guys about. This caught me off guard, and this will hit us all. We're all in an age, everyone in this room, what I'm going to show you is going to be like a bum out of watching somebody get old making decisions that you think are questionable. We're hanging out. It's the Legion of Skanks takeover right here on the Bonfire.
And now, back to the Bonfire.
Legion of Skanks takeover happening right here on the Bonfire, Comedy Central Radio, Sirius XM 95. Big J. Oakerson, Dan Soder out at Nana's house, Dave Smith, Louis J. Gomez joining us.
Hello.
It is the Legion of Skanks
Hello.
takeover.
Hello, Bonfire fans.
A lot of fun stuff coming up here for everybody here. Of course, Dave Smith, Part of the Problem podcast on Gas Digital Network. As well as a third of Legion of Skanks, obviously, and his album and special, Libertas, both available, iTunes, GasDigitalNetwork.com. Go to BigJComedy.com for my dates. Of course, Dan Soder going to be in Helium in Portland, Oregon this weekend. DanSoder.com for all his tickets. And Louis, I know, big time pumping up. Skankfest NYC. Tickets available, skankfestnyc.com. Brooklyn Bazaar, Brooklyn, New York. Saturday, July 14th. Sunday, July 15th. Get your tickets now. It is going to sell out. It's going to sell out. We're going triple the amount of availability as last year.
3 times the size of the venue, 3 times the amount of people.
And it's going to sell out.
Oh, it's definitely going to sell out.
Yeah.
My concern is, don't wait. I think a lot of people are going all right, cool, we can wait. The most hardcore fans obviously purchased tickets already. We're 85% their tickets. They're not good. Don't wait till the week of the show, which I know a lot of people are oh, can I wait a couple weeks? Don't. You might not be able to get tickets. So who knows? Yes, it's definitely you're probably all right for the next I'd say by the time the next Legion of Skanks episode comes out, which is Monday, if I had to guess, it'll be sold out. So I'd buy them before this weekend.
Very cool. Well, it's going to be happening again all July 14th and 15th. SkankFestNYC.com for tickets to that. It's going to be a blast. We are doing a live bonfire from there. Not a live bonfire, but we're a live show bonfire. Not live on the air at Skankfest. So make sure, come check that out. So all the campers come. It's going to be a fucking blast. I want to take this phone call, and so we can talk to us with our next subject here. I wanted to bring up to you guys. He's hosted the show. He's co-hosted the show with me before. SNL alum, the hilarious Dean Edwards. Everybody, Dean.
Yo.
What's up, buddy?
Joe?
What's going on?
I'm feeling. Let me tell you something. You've never enjoyed Neil as much as hearing that whole song through a headset transmitted through a phone, dog.
Pitbull? The Pitbull song turn you around?
Pitbull is fine, but Neo's shrill, hey, really hit me after 3 minutes. I was like,
Is
he
Neo
can die.
Neo's the R&B guy singing on that one?
Yeah. I'm black, so I got to know these things.
No, I understand. I never got into too fedora-y for me. I don't know how else to describe it.
He is. Neo is more than too fedora. He's too cool. It's someone that's trying to be cool, and you're like, we get it. Take the hat off. But he has that LL Cool J of long head.
Yeah.
You know?
He is odd looking. I'll tell you, speaking of celebrities that have let me down, I feel like here. I heard right here on Sirius XM, Lewis, Dave, right here on Sirius XM, I heard a commercial a couple days ago that just took me back. And Dean, please stay on the phone and listen to this commercial. I hope you can hear it here. Anyone have a problem with this one? Go ahead, Lou.
Say what? It's the boy Big Snoop D-O Double G. And I got a very special message to the players. That's right, to the males. Sexual performance issues are more common than you think. Maybe not for me, but probably for you. Over 25% of new ED cases are guys under 40. So what do you do if you suffer from ED? Go to 4hims.com, the wellness brand for men, so you can look good, feel good, and perform well in the bedroom. You dig? Thanks to science, E to the D can be optional. Say, man, don't be embarrassed. Why do guys turn to weird solutions or do something for ED when they can turn to medicine and science? I'm all about medical grade. It's $5. $5 to try it out, man. And it comes right to your crib. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Go to 4hims.com/today. ED. 4hims.com/today. ED. That's 4hims.com/today. ED.
4hims.com is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
East Coast ain't got no love for Snoop Dogg. East Coast ain't got no love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Same guy.
I don't know. I don't see what the problem is. Erectile dysfunction was the case that they gave him.
The diagnosis that they gave me.
Why does he have to specify that he doesn't have the problem?
Well, it's also false, I believe, because now there's video. He opens up about having ED and taking the vitamins. There's a video of it, but just in general,
that was his first read, and then they were like, "Listen, Snoop, you can't say that you personally don't use it. You have to talk about it like you use a product." So now he's lying and saying he has ED.
I don't know.
I don't use it. Play you dig?
My dick is dope.
My Uncle Junebug used to get down with a little bit of that in the 70s.
Wait.
How much of a bummer is that? That's just like a weird, like, what's happening? Like Snoop Dogg's doing ED commercials. This is, I know it's 20 years later, but like, is it just?
Yeah, Jay, we're fucking living in some type of simulation. Cosby's a rapist, Trump is president, and Snoop's doing these commercials.
Snoop's
it's all
got
over,
limp dick.
all right? I don't know.
And Snoop hosts Joker's Wild.
Yeah,
Snoop is he's a game show host.
I'll tell you what I felt, and I want to interview him so bad to ask him. I feel the frustration on the face of Method Man hosting that drop the mic thing where we're Method Man from fucking the Wu-Tang Clan, one of the coolest rappers of all time. Just hip-hop artists in general, and he has to go out there and just be like, all right, we got Juliana Margulies battling the guy who played Peter Brady up next on Drop the Mix. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You know, you know what that is, Jay? That's the check. That's I was just talking to somebody about that last week, saying how these rappers, I know someone that's cool with Redman and Method Man, and Meth is, I guess, on the verge of retiring from music because he's getting those TV checks. And if he has to go out on the road with Method Man or Redman and do 30, 40 dates where he could, tape 20 episodes of something and probably wind up with double, triple the money, I get it,
I get it, but does Snoop Dogg need the scratch?
you kind of need it. You need to stay relevant. You need what is he going to do?
That's not relevant. Listen,
it's relevant in a mainstream sense. Look at Stern. Hold on.
Who are you talking about?
Look at Stern though. How he went from did Stern need the money? No, but you kind of look for the next level, and he was like, all right, dude, I'm going to be a mainstream television star now and be on America's stuff.
I'm not talking about so much even Joker's Wild. I get his thing just.
I'm just talking about kind of like saying like, what do you do? How long can you be a gangster rapper for? You're almost 50. You don't really make music that's super relevant anymore. It's not like you're not like the fucking Kanye or Kendrick Lamar. So the next thing is like, let me be a TV star, and these people are going out and doing it.
I also think no matter how much money you have, if someone offers you like $500,000 for 20 minutes work, it's just hard to say no to that.
To say but first, I'm not sure it's numbers like that. Well,
it's also not just 20 minutes of work.
I'm just saying. But I'm saying like if someone offers you a big check for what's relatively easy work, I think it always gets hard to turn that down.
I get it, but there's something you have to protect your brand to some degree. And here's almost my point.
Look at Adam Sandler.
No shit. But here's my point. More like 50 Cent is a great example. Okay, now 50 Cent probably does need the money to some degree.
Really?
Well, at one point.
No, 50 Cent. He has aside from Game of Thrones, Power is the #1 scripted show on.
That's the point. That's the point I was going to make. But at a point, he filed for bankruptcy. But now he's behind the show Power. Now, whatever it is, it's still in the world of cool. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Joker's Wild is like television for the middle of the country's like it's not made for like. There's no young hip hop kids like, yo, we gotta get home for Joker's Wild, son.
Right.
And we can't miss it. True TV
but
like a motherfucker.
You understand? It's moms and dads are now fans of Method Man and Snoop. Like people that are older than me. Like Snoop, I was a child when Snoop came out. So people that are 10 years older than me, 47-year-old men are fans of Snoop, and these people have houses and families, and they're not punk asses. So those are people. They think it's kind of cool. They do. A Midwestern dad is going like, yes, faux shizzle my nizzle. I dig it. He thinks he's a part of something.
I fully disagree.
The same reason that you guys like fucking.
No, that's how they talk.
The same reason that you guys are talking about the nostalgia from the Karate Kid, I think it kind of gives a little bit of that as well. Snoop has his own type of cultural thing about him, and it's not with young cool kids, it's with an older generation.
It's with an older generation. Go ahead, Dean.
And also you have to understand that Snoop's been 25 years, so the people that were say off age with him are now 25 years older, so they're watching Snoop. But they also, I agree with Lewis's point that there are the women that watch The View, older women that watch The View and see Snoop coming to promote Joker's Wild, and like, wow, he's just so charming, you know what I mean?
Sure. It's as far as like a business adventure goes,
and that's more of a play than trying to get those young kids. If you're trying to like just make a cash grab, you're trying to make money, you're looking at the future, the next 10, 15, 20 years of your career, that's the move for him. If I'm his agent or manager, I'm like, yes, go get those Midwestern housewives.
I mean, Midwestern housewives definitely have more money to spend than like 18-year-old kids do.
But Snoop Dogg could jump in. He could jump in at ground level of like like a violent, dark, whatever kind of cool, or even just cool TV show he wanted to be a part of.
He's kind of a meme. I don't know. He's not like a serious. I don't know if Snoop could go. Even when Snoop comes on screen,
becomes a legitimate gang member.
But he comes on and he does like cameos at this point.
Sure. And he's funny. He's very funny.
He's like what Christopher Walken ended up doing, like where he's just a caricature of himself now. Like he used to be a serious guy, but now it's just like.
But when you lose street cred, when like they were like killing people, and it was like, nah, yo, I'm Snoop Lion. I'm out of this shit. I'm not really a gangster.
Well, I think he came close to some real fucked up shit, and it kind of scared him out. Like, first off, he almost went to jail for fucking murder.
Sure.
And then I think he almost, like, everyone around him got murdered, and I think he was like, I'll just be, like, the fun guy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think Snoop still has the freedom. I think if Snoop wanted to do darker things, I think he could. But I think he's expanded his brand. I'm not necessarily a fan of it, but I can appreciate someone growing. And so Snoop, he's a football coach, and his little nephew's playing in, that played in his pop whatever football league, now plays professional football. So
maybe it's just weird,
like this mentor.
But maybe it's just weird too to see that the thing was within his fame. He was involved in very when you read the news about Snoop Dogg, like, was at a club and something went down, you know what I mean? Or his boys and these guys, and he's touring with, like, known pimps and talks about pimping chicks and all this shit.
Right.
And now that, like, my grandmother can feasibly be clapping for him on a TV show is just very bizarre. Like, I'm surprised he's willing to sell out his cool, and that is for sure what's happening. You're selling out your cool.
I'm more surprised that he's accepted, if it makes sense, because like Snoop's had a lot of like gang affiliated shit and like a lot of just like real hardcore, like you look
at the lyrics back in the day, the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, they used to talk about doing crazy shit to chicks.
That's why he's accepted, because even though he's doing a because I heard that commercial 3 times earlier today, and it bugged me hearing Snoop with "You Dig" and he wrecked the ED truck. It's a wreck out the smoke. There's nothing cool about it. You can't. It's the easel on the diesel, my she's.
No, I got a wreck tizzle, my dizzle.
My dizzle is fizzle.
My dizzle is flizzle. It won't get fizzle.
Hey, y'all.
But because he still is a Crip, and because he's still, every so often, Snoop will come out, like every 3 or 4 years, he'll wind up on like some younger rapper's track, and it pops, and he gets that credibility because you're like, you know what? He's still a Snoop. The same way with Puffy, P Diddy, Puff Daddy, Brother Love, whatever he's going by now. Yeah, he was the shiny suit man, but you still don't want to test him because you're like, yo, this dude's still was right there when Biggie got shot, you know, and those dudes will still, their black card was never revoked. We just said, all right, we're gonna let them. That's just Snoop.
I think it's like it's almost like there's this certain thing, like you said, like his black card was never revoked. Like there's a certain level that you could achieve. Like no matter what he does, The Chronic and Doggy Style are two of the greatest albums ever.
Sure.
If those songs come on, we're all dancing to. It doesn't matter. Like it's like he'll always have that.
No, first of all, nobody in this room would start dancing if that song came on.
Dancing's a weird thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say. I was gonna say we'd start rapping along, but I didn't want to offend Dean.
You know what's funny? I was doing this gig a couple months ago, and the DJ, it was me and Steven Scott, the white comic does all the songs. But so me and Steven Scott, we were there, and the DJ threw on the next episode. So you hear, and me and 2 other black dudes, the only 3 black people in this space, all started doing like this Crip walk, and he looks at me, he says, do you guys know each other?
That's a great.
I thought you were starting what do they call the dance thing?
Flash mob.
Flash mob.
Yeah, he goes, oh, should we all just join in now? It is. I just think he didn't have to sell out his cool so hard. That's what you're right. He does always have those things.
I don't think that he really sold out his cool though, because the other thing you start to see, and it is to a certain, I guess, from the outside perspective, but then you see that he's doing this Coach Snoop thing, right? That TV show. You see that he gives back to the community. He's almost become like a mogul in his own right, without much like. There's not much there. It really is just fucking these kind of silly songs and this kind of like over the top pothead thing. But now he's got multiple TV shows. He's got a UFC thing where he like does commentary on like the funny UFC things. So he's kind of almost developing not a reputation, but almost like his thing is he's become like an everyman, and he's kind of doing everything. And I think that when you look at the black community and poor communities, they go, yeah, fuck yeah, he got out of the hood and kind of made something in the mainstream of himself. And I think that's inspiring to black people.
Sure. Well, I think it's inspiring to anybody that's a fan of Snoop, because you look at what, like everything you just said he did. It's similar to Steve Harvey. Difference being Steve Harvey Steve Harvey was always in big loud suits, and so
he never really changed things. But Steve Harvey really is. I bet when he started, when he did Def Jam the first time, I don't think he ever thought it was going to end with a lot of his crowd being, I mean, I'd say majority, like middle of the country, 45 to 60-year-old women.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, Steve Harvey.
And just white women, man, they fucking love Steve Harvey.
I don't think any stand-up did. What about Ellen? Ellen, when she started doing comedy...
Wait, who? Say again.
I was saying, like, Ellen, do you think when she stepped on the stage the first time as a comic, she's going to be like, I'm going to be the most popular woman in the country. It's middle America, like sitting down talking to celebrities every morning. No, we all got on stage in a comedy club at one point because we had our own fucking whatever weird thing that drove us there.
There's a lot of stories like that in comedy. I mean, I look at like Jimmy Kimmel, when he was like on the Man Show and having chicks in bathing suits jump up and down. And
he hosted
now
the
they're like playing his clips on the news, and they're like, Jimmy Kimmel took on Donald Trump yesterday. Like, geez, man. Like,
no, as far as popularity goes, I mean, I'm saying more like I don't know, man. Ice-T is such a good example of me. Of even though he's played a cop for the last 17 years on SVU. It's like he's cool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
And, but the problem was the problem with him, and it ended very quick, I think, was when the E channel. When you get the E channel involved, and you're selling so much of your soul. And when they did the Ice-T and Coco at home, and then what you see is this guy who still actively does documentaries about pimping and the hustle and the game and all that shit. And you see him on that show going like. It's like, yeah, baby, I did. He goes, Coco, get mad if I don't put the plates back in the right cabinet. And you're like, what? you're like, what the fuck happened to you, Ice-T?
Well, could you imagine? You know, it's a weird thing with a lot of these rappers where it's like they blow up off. They'll be like 19 or something like that when they get big, and they're rapping about being in like the streets. And they were really, you're talking about a period of time from when they were like 15 to 19, which is really the time period they're talking about. Then they become millionaires. At this point, they're going on 50. And it's like now can you imagine if you were stuck like comedically talking about what you did between 15 and 19? Yeah. This is for Dr. Dre to talk about some street shit. Dr. Dre has been rich since I can remember. Like he's been, you know, it's like, so it's like this weird dynamic. Like, how could you live in that still?
I don't know. It is bizarre when it comes out. That was the funniest, you know, I mean, I think it's been probably gone over 1,000 times by 1,000 shows, but the funniest announcement of someone's a billionaire in the world, you know, Tyrese fucking his life.
Oh, dude, that was...
I mean, you know that.
Will.i.am hated Tyrese for doing
He should. Tyrese did the most stupid... Here's the thing. I get keeping your cool and keeping, like, your street cred to some degree, but, like, there's also... You ever see when Tyrese announces...
No,
I guess. So
they were in a like Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine. It's on that documentary about them. And Dr. Dre, Jimmy Iovine were negotiating Beats by Dre headphones with Monster.
Oh, I remember. Continue.
And the deal selling to Apple for, you know, not $1 billion but a lot of money. And then I guess Tyrese was in the studio with Dre and they were drinking, you know, liquor, going hard, and next thing you know. Dre mentions the deal, and Tyrese like Facebook Lives. Yo, we got the first billionaire out of hip hop from the West Coast, and he starts crip walking.
Yeah, it's not like a joke. It's like
I saw it.
Tyrese is that stupid.
Yeah. And so all of, you know, it goes viral, and then Jimmy Iovine's calling Dre the next morning. Andre, what did you do? Why did you say anything? And because I have all the people from Steve Jobs' company contacting, you know, and they almost blew the deal.
But at least it was the last time Tyrese would embarrass himself on videotape.
I'll tell you what for sure. And then Dave's only talking about the Fast and Furious franchise. Tyrese is an idiot, but no, that's fun. How much would you love to hear? I don't know if Snoop has one. I think Snoop's been able to at least carry his cool over to be what Suits, like white executive guys, would deem to be is what Snoop Dogg is, like his level of like, you know, hip hop talk and vernacular and everything. I bet you, maybe not Puffy even, but I'm telling you, I bet for some reason I feel like Dr. Dre's got a I'm talking to white executives voice now. I bet it's a very different, like, yo, motherfucker, shut up. It's a barbecue, man. It ain't a motherfucking party. I'm on the phone. And he's like, James, hi. Andre here. We have to get to this, you know, I'm sure.
But I think Dre's more, I disagree. Because anything I've ever seen with Dr. Dre, he's never been that loud, rah-rah type cat. You know what I mean? Versus, like, Puffy's a showboat. Snoop is even a showman. Dr. Dre, because he's always been behind the board, he's kind of mysterious and lays in the cut. So I don't see him suddenly saying, "Hey guys, we have to do this deal," especially since he has Iovine right there with him to do the talking for him.
No, absolutely. Christine, can you play the video of Snoop talking about? Because maybe it is. Maybe because he said I don't use it. Maybe he had to come out. See if you can find the story on that too. Why do you have to come out and
Is
make
that
this?
the announcement?
Because maybe this is a video of him just at home.
This was like from his Instagram.
Hims. Man, these vitamins is the truth, homie.
They kind of hard to put in your dick, but once you get them in there, shit.
You know why, man? They good for hair loss, ED. I know y'all don't want to talk about that, but some of y'all do got ED. And them Hims is perfect for that.
It ain't me, nigga. My dick is mad
Get you
hard.
some Hims, man. Don't be embarrassed. Come on out the closet. I'm finna take one now.
I got a boner. I'm back. I got a boner.
I love that he kept his cool and made sure he still didn't implicate himself. He's like, some of y'all got. First of all, can he record something where he didn't just wake up?
Yeah, also, I wish you could have seen the video, Dean, because he winks after he goes, I'm about to go take one now. I'm going to go get a boner in a minute.
Ooh, wait.
Y'all wait here. I'm going to go stiffen up.
You dig.
Go keep playing it.
Day one of this workout. Yeah, you gonna get this work.
I'm holding a 30-pound weight on my dick.
Oh, it's funny. Is this the very first day of it? Because I'll tell you what, he's starting to get results. He's really, I follow him on Instagram and stuff. He started like a whole MMA training workout regimen. And he looks like he's getting like crazy, like weirdly in shape.
Really?
Yeah, it's odd. Yeah.
Snoop is almost sickly skinny. He's always just been.
But I'm telling you, he actually looks like much better than he looked when he was younger. Almost his body, because he has like some definition to his body. It's odd.
Oh wow.
I ain't fucking around. Get it in.
You know what it is? Now that his dick's hard, he's really trying to fuck more. And he needs to get his stamina up.
He's like, yo.
Gotta get that stamina up.
When I get horny, I get violent.
Dean, thank you so much for calling. But anything you want to plug? You want to plug anything while I got you on?
Hey man, I'm at the Cellar this weekend. I'm at Acme Comedy Company at the beginning of June. Shout out to you guys. You know what? I never have the car, so I never hear it. But I had the car today and actually urged y'all fools. I was like, let me call these fools in, man. And lastly, Jay, Lewis, you'd be Cobra Kai definitely. I'd say Dave could. I think Dave would be Miyagi-Do, and Big J, you'd be on the fence of either. You'd be like the Kylo Ren back and forth.
I just want to be courted. I want to be courted.
If you want to come train with us and learn the honor of karate,
or do you want to just kick a fucking nerd? Yeah.
Strike first, strike hard, Jay.
No mercy, sir. Dean, I love you, buddy. Thank you so much for calling in.
Y'all take care.
Later, Dean.
Absolutely. I know. I want to start. Yeah, man. Snoop. I don't know. For some reason, when I heard the commercial, it stuck out to me so much.
I get it. And part of it is also like our own mortality. It just makes you feel old.
Much.
Like a lot of that's like, because I remember when Snoop Doggy Dog was actually scary.
Yeah.
And now he's just so approachable and so like you'd see Snoop somewhere and you'd be like, oh, Snoopy Doopy is here. It's like back in the day you'd be like, oh shit, that's a gangster. Like that's someone to be afraid of.
Oh, yeah,
and that's over.
Well, I'll tell you what. Speaking of someone from my childhood, I put this all on social media today, but you guys saw I got such a cool shout out from Andrew Dice Clay on Instagram, and it really.
How did that materialize?
I was so. He just.
Jay wrote him 15 love letters.
I can't. I hope one day I get a chance to tell him about that love letter. I found out about it. I guess he just did it yesterday. I believe. Eleanor Kerrigan.
Yeah.
Eleanor Kerrigan is a L.A. comic, but she's from Philly, and I became friendly with her when I'd go out to L.A. Super sweet, super funny, and she she was Dice's ex-girlfriend and current. I still think opens for him on the road a bunch, and she knows the kids and the family. And she told me a while back, and I got to meet his kids, and she told me because these kids like they're fans of yours, which was a very cool thing for me to be like, wow. As a kid, I was such a fan of Dice, and now his kids, to say they're fans of mine is pretty amazing. And we lost Lewis.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really cool. But I knew he didn't know who I was still. And Rogan had mentioned a few times about setting up maybe me and him doing a podcast together, and it hasn't come to pass yet. So I thought he didn't know who I was. And Eleanor texted me last night with a picture of this post that he put up, saying, "Well, his kids have finally got him to become a fan of yours." And have you seen this yet? And they showed it to me, and it's just him saying, I mean, I'll paraphrase it, but it's he just said there's only one comic he'd want to go through around the country with now, and me. He cites me as the person. It was really cool. And if you get a chance on all social media, it'll be out on Bonfire at the Bonfire SXM. We'll post the picture I took of the post. But yeah, it was pretty exciting, man. It's a real like hero as a kid, like reaching out. It's pretty neat. I've gotten to meet a lot of people who I like admired in my life. I said even doing like the music ones were really cool to meet those guys. But Dice is he's like a reason I wanted to do comedy. So that's a pretty cool acknowledgement, man. I was really, that fucking humbling for sure, man. Really, really cool.
Doesn't seem humbling.
Yeah,
It seems like you're bragging about it.
Jesus Christ, listen to you fucking...
Because, it's really humbling? This guy thinks I'm the best comic in the country.
He didn't say anything like that.
Good for you, buddy.
I say to you humbly.
Well, I don't know. What do you
Dice
want us to
called
do?
it.
Just go, good for you.
Nailed
You
it.
achieved a life goal.
Yeah.
Well,
Another dude likes you.
Stones.
What do you want me to say? This is really weird for me to watch. I respect you. Please stop.
I just want to say that
I get it. It's cool. Stop making me watch you respect another man this much. It's bugging me.
You hit a crossroad in life, and you think people don't
I was
pay
just
attention.
at home curling up in my Dice PJs, and I look on the Instagram.
That is the Legion of Skanks, everybody. Dave Smith, Louis J. Gomez. Dave Smith. It's a new special on album, Libertas, available on GasDigitalNetwork.com, as well as his podcast, Part of the Problem, as well as Louis J. Gomez's podcast, Real Ass Podcast, Roastmasters.
Believe You Me.
Believe You Me with Michael Bisping. The Champ, The Count.
Which, by the way, you guys can go listen right after this. I'm going from here, 8:30, GasDigitalNetwork.com. All the live streams are free.
You know Bisping. Stop sucking your own cock about
All
it.
the live streams are free. Do you know Bisping told me one time that if he had a tour with one comedian,
it would be you.
me?
That sounds like a nightmare. Yeah. He's like, in his corner, for some reason, is comedian Louis J. Gomez.
It's just him in the club. Make me laugh, Mike.
Yeah. You're my cup man, y'all, yes.
You're my personal clown.
In between rounds, I want you to fart in people's faces.
Because now I hear Michael Bisping has switched camps. He's no longer training with Jason Perillo. He's getting all of his fights from the Puerto Rican rattlesnake.
Yeah.
Skankfest going down July 14th and 15th. That's Saturday and Sunday, July 14th and 15th at the Brooklyn Bazaar in Brooklyn, New York. Get your tickets at skankfestnyc.com. It is going to be the event of the summer, that is for sure. Dan Soder at Helium this weekend in Portland, Oregon. Make sure you check him out, dansoder.com, for all his dates. San Antonio, I'm coming. I'll be there this Thursday through Saturday. After that, Dr. Grin's Grand Rapids, Michigan. The 17th and to the 19th, and then the 20th I'll be at Rock on the Range, headlining the comedy stage there. That's going to be a ton of fun. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow with some new guest hosts and a little more fun. There's going to be a Lost Tapes that me and Dan pre-recorded this week coming out, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And other than that, Bonfire, at the Bonfire, SXM on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Follow us, and we'll be back tomorrow. Crackle, crackle.
Mwah.